Well, me and Rowdy's out for a walk today. A little hike over here in Panther Creek. So I want to tell about an experience that I had back in 2004, I believe it was. It was in the fall of the year. And check out these cool pavers. Anyway, Rowdy, make sure you don't get up too far ahead of me. Anyway, we was having a revival in the fall 2004, and I decided before we have that revival, I felt like we should, a bunch of us, get together and go pray in the mountains. And I couldn't get nobody to go, so I decided to do it by myself. At that time I lived in Greenville, and I would drive over to the mountains over near North Carolina, a place called Long Pine Mountain. And I would drive to the top. There's a church there where you turn. Anyway, drive up to the top of it. I'd park and I'd pray. I'd done that for several days. I think I was into the third day going up there. It was quite late. It was already dark. But I was really dedicated to do it for 5 days. So on that 5th day, I got up there and was praying just as usual. And I heard a noise. It was louder than me praying, and I was praying. If you ever heard a Baptist pray, well, I come from a charismatic type church, so I tend to get a little loud. And I could hear something come crashing down the mountain. And at that time, there was some real thick overgrowth where that had a major fire, and it burned a lot of the side of that mountain. And it come crashing down the mountain. I mean, it sounded like a bulldozer. I mean, I could hear limbs cracking and popping and stuff breaking and thrashing as it come down. So I thought it was probably a bear, maybe come running down the mountain toward my voice. Maybe it was interested in me. Anyway, I reached into the front seat. I had a .357 Colt Python laying there in the seat. So anytime I go to the mountains, I always take a pistol. So I pulled that pistol out and I waited. When it got down to the edge of the woods where the road was at, it didn't come out into the road. I kept expecting it to come out in the road. And then I seen a tree. It's probably a tree about 30 feet high, probably 4 or 5 inches around the diameter, swaying back and forth like it was just a small shrub. And it kind of freaked me out. Then I heard this growl, and this growl, I can't explain it. This growl, you could feel inside your bones. I could feel it vibrating, almost kind of like paralyzing, to where I couldn't move. I never thought to rebuke this thing. I don't know if it's a spirit or what, but So I have to say it unnerved me quite a bit. I'm not afraid of the woods. I've been going in the woods ever since I was little. I've camped in the woods, hunted in all the mountains, been way off track. I've never felt uneasy about being there. But whatever this was, it's beyond anything I've ever heard or seen before. And I'll try to explain the growl. It was so low. It kind of sounded like a tiger. I mean, it's like a real guttural, low growl that vibrated my bones. I don't know. I really don't know how to explain that. Anyway, so I didn't want to shoot anything. I didn't want to shoot this thing. So I decided to get in the car and leave. Well, that spring was in February. I can't remember the exact date, but it was in February. It was 17 degrees outside. Matter of fact, I wanted to make sure on the temperature because Paint Creek was froze. It had 2 inches of ice over the swimming hole there in Paint Creek. So I wanted to make sure that to take some pictures and stuff. So when we got to the top of the mountain where that thing had growled at me, we walked out this trail. It's a forest road that's blocked off. You can't go on it. It's got a gate across it. We walked out through there and I found a footprint. It's bigger than I was wearing a size 13 shoe. It was wider and it was probably 2 inches longer than my shoe. So it was close to 14 inches, I guess. 13, 14 inches. And wide. Toes. Had 5 toes. Could only find the one track. But I took a picture of it. And if I can find it, I'm going to insert it right here, right now, to where you guys can see it. And basically that's what happened to me. Now if you take a look at that track, if you zoom in on it now, I took that picture with pretty sure my Nikon camera, and the detail, if you zoom up real close on it, you can see dermal ridges in the toes and on the ball of the foot. Now it was stepping down a hill, so as it was stepping down the hill, most of the weight was toward the front of the foot, and the hill's not real defined, so it was very hard for me to really determine how big it was. So I just stuck my foot there, took a picture, and you guys tell me what you think. I think these things may have something spiritual about them, because my prayer was upsetting this thing. It was upset. It wasn't curious. I didn't feel that from it at all. But I just didn't think to rebuke it. Anyway, that's the story I have. I hope you enjoy it. Hey, buddy. Come here. Come here. There's my boy. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed it.